Could I get like 1.0, please? What did I pick? I skipped. Okay. My opponent picks Assault Fortress. I guess more HP on these fortresses is absolutely worth it. And that's kind of free 20%. They're also faster and they do more damage. I mean, why would you not pick this? Since I'm realizing I have a chaff problem here, I need to deal with it. My opponent tries to go for the finisher. He has Missile Device Specialist, something that I could have seen coming for a long time. I didn't. He decides to drop some missiles here. Note that these missiles with the Missile Device Specialist are going to do they're going to do 200% damage, I think. So these are 15,000 damage sentry missiles. The sledges here are good, but they don't have 15k HP yet. So all of these sledges are gonna get annihilated. At the same time, he picks the Crawler's upgrade. That is probably the most popular right now, or ever, Replicate. He's hoping to close this one out. I'm still at a healthy amount of HP, but with a good amount of fortresses surviving, it's not gonna be much. Like these 4 fortresses alone are 1,600 damage to my health. Get these further 400 HP in ranged units added on top of that, and we're looking at 2,000 damage already. And then some random sledges could actually close the game out. If it works. Well, we're gonna see if it works or not. So these missiles, I think I've never seen more value from sentry missiles in my life before. Those were $100 and he destroyed so much value with them. Assault fortresses are tanking, but these marksmen will not stop scaling. I get absolutely obliterated by chaff here. In the middle there's just so much chaff. This side kinda sorta holds until the tower debuff comes in, but second tower falls and it's a lot of damage, but it's a fortress shy of killing me. That's what I'm saying. He really has. He needed to clear this one out. And he almost did it. If one fortress survived, that would have been it. I would have felt really bad, but it would have been a deserved victory in my opinion. Because there is a tipping point in some matches where you need to finish it. And if you can't finish it in time, it will only get worse and worse from here. Now the question is, has that tipping point been reached? Or will my opponent pull a rabbit out of a hat and make it work again? Or naturally, I decide to defend against sentry missiles. They can only come in from the front here, so I don't need to worry about flanks or something like that. That would be scary if you could drop devices in flanks. I decide to put one Scorpion in the front. It can eat some missiles, and Fangs here to defend against other missiles, and then screw it. We're going to quad tag these sledges and let them scale to the moon. What's the highest level pack of sledges I have? Looks like there's a bunch of level 4 sledges. These are doing 3,323 damage. Nice. I still have a lot of money left over, and I don't really know what to do with that amount of money. Yeah, he's trying the missile trick again, but there is something in front now. So the sledges are not going to die to that. I decide to just hit the doubled up upgrades and drop some oil. So now, these sledges are doing 6,809 damage. Also, I don't know what else to do with my money, so I drop oil. This thing lives for about 3 more seconds, and then it gets blasted by sledges and by phoenixes. These phoenixes, like all other units, have been scaling. Marksmen already on those fortresses, and look how quickly the fortresses just get annihilated once stuff locks onto them. Doesn't really matter if it's sledges or marksmen. Single shots of tanks are doing visible damage. This rhino has lasted for quite a while, but finally the way is clear, and the sledges are moving in. Fortresses get EMP'd, and under EMP those fortresses will have to move up. They are faster, but not that fast. So it ends up being a very good victory on my part. And you know what happens when you have oil? The game thinks, you know, why don't I give you just the incendiary bomb as a nice little bonus. Super heavy armor also pretty good. But at the same time, I do have very good damage against even super heavy armor. These marksmen, they're doing tens and tens of thousands of damage. Technically, he can drop fortress shields, but there's gonna be... Like, he would have to drop more to prevent chaff from dying here. This can easily be the last round. It's time to buy out. I do drop another unit of chaff in the middle, so that I don't get missiled again. He could have foreseen me selling the Scorpion, and if I had been lazy and didn't put anything there, a lot of my sledges would have instantly been annihilated. I don't necessarily know what to do with my money, so I decide, you know what, why don't I try Overlord again? I have it unlocked. It's doing good damage against fortresses too, so let's try it. Oh, hang on, I think there also was there EMP as well? I'm not entirely sure. Ah, no, it's against my opponent's EMP on the sledges. That's what the photon is for. I can't afford another one. I am elite after all, so I guess I decide to get Subterranean Blitz. My opponent has a lot of money in the bank. He decides to go for crawlers, which honestly into a round with Incendiary Bomb is probably not the right choice. And Fortress Shields for extra HP. Incendiary burns a whole lot of... wow. Yeah, that is a very, very, very good value Incendiary Bomb. Look at these marksmen. 35k damage almost. The fortresses will die in 3 shots. It ends up being an absolutely stellar victory for me here. My own crawlers make it almost through the fire. That is insane. And there's a lot of damage coming in, but it's not yet enough. It is the final round. I think I don't need to mention that any further. We have a very powerful combat power coming out. A starting combat power that is probably not going to accomplish much here. Senior manufacturing not gonna be worth it. And mass-produced sledges. Yeah. Probably not. Not for either of us. I decide to throw my earlier already taken Wasp Swarm out. It's not gonna accomplish much anywhere anyway. So might as well throw it somewhere. I decide to drop that into the middle because the fortresses are probably gonna block a lot. So I'm hoping I can get some good hits on that chaff. Shields come out. I drop another Overlord and that basically is all my money gone. I can still buy out. I can still get range and speed. Level a pack of crawlers. My opponent is leveling his units and desperately trying to get this done. I think Launcher Overload might have actually been a good value here. He drops some missiles to help get rid of this chaff in the front. No fire. Very much appreciated from my opponent. I guess I am a less... could I put this? I guess I'm a little more of a cheesy player. He did drop a missile delayed here, so it does actually impact. But it's not enough to kill these sledges anymore. They have 25k HP. It turns out pretty much like the last round, I want to say. Fortresses get EMP'd. I guess in that sense the tech doesn't do anything anyway. Once they get EMP'd, they are forced to move forward. This fortress has well over 500,000 health. But it still gets cleaned up. That was an awesome game. And my opponent agreed. That was an awesome game. I think I have the screenshot right here. Yeah, this is what I like. Drop the sledges, quad tag them, scale them to the moon, buy all the upgrades. Love it. I think the double tech crawlers into Incendiary wasn't good, but I also think that my opponent, he did a very, very good job and almost closed it out. I think if he had killed like one more pack of sledges, it would have scaled into 400 damage and he could have won. But he missed his opportunity. I hate when that happens to myself. But he knew he had to play tempo. And I'm starting to learn that myself as well. Which is probably part of the reason why I am sitting a lot more MMR than just a month ago. Yeah, I think this is just... I would be surprised if anyone finds a way to still win this. Like, the only thing I can even imagine that can still turn this one around is like triple recruited max tech wasps killing all my anti-air and being enough damage or something like that, or getting an early tower debuff. That is about the only thing that I can imagine that can still turn this. Because I don't think Wraith drops here will work. There's just too much anti-Wraith in this army. Let's actually check who did the most damage. This marksman. Level 7, 44k damage, on the verge of leveling if it continues any further. And on my opponent's side, this fortress definitely soaked the biggest amount of damage. Was it one of the marksmen or the phoenixes? Oh, those phoenixes must have been annihilated pretty quickly. Oh, it was these phoenixes. They actually did more damage. Wow. They were hitting a lot of very healthy sledges. Also, I think the reason why he lost is actually cost control. As you can see, it worsens the stats, and I do also have more upgrades. These level 7 sledges have not even 25k HP. My level 5 sledges have more than that. Attack power-wise, they are also much stronger, but that is because of armor-piercing bullets, which was kind of the next bullet, the next silver bullet. He can purchase armor, but it will just get turned off. So there's effectively no point taking it. It kind of feels the same if you're in a wasp off with somebody and it's going to higher and higher level wasps, and you know that you have all the carry techs and your opponent has all the carry techs except for one maybe, and he instead has jump drive for that. Feels bad if you're on the losing end of that tech trade, more or less. It feels good if you're on the winning end. But yeah, I think my opponent definitely had more skill, but I think in this specific match, the techs and the cards, they just aligned better for me. And he would have still almost turned it around if he had gotten one single fortress alive in that all-important round number 8, I think it was. So, I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching and listening. And until next time.